Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel again. In this video, we'll have a simple look on JWT. What is it? Basically, it stands for Json Web Token. As I had visited on its official website, and there you can see it is like encrypted token there, and there you will able to see the payload of data and also in header you will able to see algorithm and type of JWT and signature etc. You can simply do simply visit on its website and you will able to see all of the thing without wasting time, let's start implement. So I'm using Node.js, and basically you need two library for this only JSON web token, only this. And as I already created a middleware for auth, let's uh, remove the file you can make this delete the code and just save it, and in server.js I just make this comment out this code. So basically we need to install JWT for JSON Web Token, and in this video I'm gonna just create a simple JSON Web Token, and I'll create a private API where you validate your token as well. So if I'm gonna create app.post, and let's create a request for slash API slash register, and simply I'll get request response from the user, and here I'll destruct something you can give its name to login. I'll provide JSON web token to user at time of login. So take variable username, and second one I'm gonna take the password. I'll not use it as I haven't connected with any DB. I'm just explaining some basic about JSON Web Token, how we can generate it, and how simply we can authenticate our private API using this. So all of this thing will get from request.body. What I need to do, you can do all of your process there, you want to store in a database or not. So what I'm going to do, I'm just creating a ID, like I haven't connected with any database, or you can simply fetch the user ID from database uh, as per validate user here. After validate user here, and if user is validate, then you have to provide him web token for ID, I'm just gonna create simply UUID, and I'm using v4 for it, as I already installed the UUID package above. There you can see. So what I need to do next, I'm just need to create the payload. So const payload, what I'm gonna save with my web token. So for payload, I'm just gonna save the user information, and what is it, I'm just gonna save the user ID, and this will be ID, and the second thing I'm gonna save username, and this is username. So that's all. And now this time to create our payload, so our payload add here, this time to create our JSON web token. So I use simply JWT dot sign, and it will hold parameter. First one is payload, and second use your private key, secret or your private key. So for payload, as I had created above the variable const payload, I'm using that, and for my secret key I'm using let's give it my secret. You can use anything. I'm just gonna simplify this thing, and after that you can use the object like expiring, and if you hover on expire in, so it will expressed in second or a string describing time span like 7 day, or you can give it in hours. So I'm gonna just give it for hour time, in milliseconds. So token will expire in this provided time. And also it after that it provide like a callback uh, if there is any error or we had successfully created the token. So this is an arrow function I had created here, and if error occur, so I'm gonna just simply throw the error, throw error. And if not error, so I'm gonna use rest.json, and here I'm gonna send the token. Okay, so simply save this and just start the server, not space server. There you can see our server has been started, and I'm going to use my postman and post the API. As I already sent the user 1 there, and I'm going to send user 2. Oops, I'm getting some error, internal server error. And what it is saying, npm init y. Let me see the error. What is it? Not server. Token is not defined. It is not able to get the token, I think. So it is saying token is not defined. Why it is saying this? I don't think so. Let's simplify the things. So json.sign payload is here, and after that I have to pass my secret. After that time, and after time you need to pass here token module.export middleware auth. I'm not using this anymore. Let's delete it out. Hopefully, I think comment was not working there, and move to postman. Reference name is not defined, and what is error now? Name is not defined, and name is here, and what we are getting from the body, it is we are getting username. So simply I'm just using node, not nodebone. So let's clear our terminal, and this is my bad. So let's request again. There you will able to see I had requested for user 2, and I'll get the token. And if I copy this token and move to official website of JWT, let's paste the token here. So there you will able to see that I had stored user ID and name there. So let's create a private API for that. Like after get the token, let's will able to access the route. So I'm using app.get, and here I'm gonna use API and private, and the thing will be same, like request response will be same. We need to do nothing here, but before going to the actual request, I'll use the middleware, and I'm using it auth. That will authenticate whether token is valid, user is valid or not. So just import here, like import. No, it will use const auth, and I need require what I need from middleware. I need to auth middleware from here. So simply in this we'll set up like whether user is authenticated or not. So first of all thing, I need JWT for decode our token. It will require JSON web token, and what I need to do, module.export is equal to request response. Since it is a middleware, so after executing it we need to execute our actual request. So I'm using next here. By using this call I'll able to execute our next middleware. So first of all we need to get our token. So like get token from header, and in header I will use xauth token. So here I'm going to use const token is equal to request dot header, and inside it I'm gonna give its name like x dash auth dash token, whatever name you're gonna use for key. And after that get the token, and if like there is no token, so I have to check if there is no token. If there is no token, so I'll simply put the condition if not token. Then what we need to do, just return rest dot status 401, as user is not authorized to uh, access our private API. So to simply pass JSON here, and in JSON I'm simply like pass the message or anything not authorized. Okay, now like if there is no token we have to do this thing, and if there is token we have to verify it. So for simply verify I'm gonna use try catch, and inside catch there will be error, and if like inside try block, so I had to decode our token, so const decode. Here what I'm going to use JWT dot verify, and inside it I have to pass my token what I get from the header, and also I have to pass my secret key which I had created here at the time of create the token. So just simply pass here my secret. Okay, and if decode it successfully, then I just simply create a request dot user, and pass simply value here decode dot user. What we get at the time of creating this, I had used user there, so I'll simply able to get user ID and name here. And what I need to do after after doing all of things successfully, I have to execute my actual request here. So I'm just calling next here, and inside catch block, like if something so I'm gonna pass the some response status 401, and pass the JSON here like and inside message pass like if token is not valid, if we pass any invalid token, invalid token is not invalid, not it's not valid. So this is the thing we have to do, and as we simply use auth request here, and inside like move to our private API, we have to just get our token here. If we get it successfully, so we have to use const, like what we are doing const make some destructure, and we'll get request dot user, and what we had created here user ID and name. And if we got it, then let's create another user, or you can simply return user ID and name in the JSON as well. So let's create a variable, let user equal to uh, user ID comma name. This is the fine, and let's return a response, so response dot JSON, and inside JSON just pass the user. Okay, save this, and add semicolon here, save this as well, and let's restart our server. Oops. So create a user, let's this is our user 3, and we got the token. So if I need to access our API, we need to like, had I done anything wrong here? No, we just need to copy this. Let's create another token for this. We need to copy this, and inside get, like for xauth, We do not need to pass anything inside body, and just pass inside header like forex auth token. There you will able to see we get user 3 and user name of user 3 and ID of user as well. And if we go to official website, there you will able to see the payload. So this is a very simple way how can we use JWT, and how can we access our private API, make authentication, how can we use middleware. This is the simple way. You can extend it accordingly, what in which fill way you find stable. So that's all for today. If you enjoy the video, then give a big thumbs up. Also, if you are new, then subscribe my channel as well. So thank you.